Welcome to episode 327 of the Various and Sundry podcast. I'm your host, Matt Harmon, joined live from the Vault Studio in the beautiful campus of Grace College and Grace Theological Seminary by my good friend, my colleague, my co-host, and the man who is still full from Easter dinner, John Scott Sloat.
Doc, what's happening?
Well, happy Monday after Easter to you.
Yeah. Over the weekend, did you build a boat or an ark or
No,
anything to deal with the amount of floodwaters we've been getting?
I did not. I actually managed to mow my grass on Friday in a little in a window where there was.
Wow.
Otherwise, it'd be a disaster. It was already quite lengthy, and the ground had dried out enough in most of the yard to make it
Passable.
doable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Saturday, it just rained all day.
yeah,
Rained a little bit last night.
yeah. I needed to stop raining. They got to dig a hole and pour my foundation. Like, folks,
on the new place.
yeah, stop raining. That's what I need. Really, next week I think is when we're looking at.
Yeah,
breaking
I
ground,
think
so.
we have 4 or 5 days here where it's supposed to be pretty clear. 3 days at least.
I hope so, but that's supposed to get rain again next week. So anyway, yeah, what'd you do for Easter? How'd you celebrate Resurrection Sunday?
Yeah, so Saturday was my wife's birthday.
Oh, nice.
And so we celebrated her by staying inside and not going out in the rain.
Sheltered from the rain. Yes.
Yeah, I made some pancakes. We hung out. We spent the day together.
Nice.
And then Sunday went to church, obviously, and then went to my folks in Goshen.
Very nice.
How about you guys?
Yeah, so it was John's birthday. My oldest son, John. His birthday is actually today as we record, but he came up for the weekend, so we celebrated his birthday on Saturday. And
His birthday is this week, which means
the Masters.
the Masters start.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we and so Jake and Autumn came over as well, played some games, watched some basketball, and then Sunday went to church, and then we drove to Ohio to hang out with my family. For the
Oh,
afternoon.
nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So yeah, that was a lovely Easter, and of course, had Good Friday service on Friday night. So
Yeah.
it was good. But good weekend. Good weekend, and besides the rain,
Yeah, so much rain.
yeah, it's a monsoon. Man, everywhere you drive, lots of sitting water.
Yeah. The golf course is closed
Yeah,
because there's so much water.
it's a tough break for you.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, if you would like to contact the show and join in on one middle-aged man and one soon-to-be middle-aged man talking about the weather.
I think I'm middle-aged. 37, turning 38, that's middle-aged.
No, that's not
No?
middle-aged. No, middle-aged is not. I think you have to at least hit 40.
Really?
Yeah, I think 40.
I feel pretty middle-aged.
No, you don't. You only think you feel middle-aged. Let me tell you, when you get to middle-age, you'll see like, oh yeah. I mean, days are coming, and soon, my friend, where you will look back and say, man, I wish I felt like I felt when I was 37.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, if you'd like to contact the show and either join in on this conversation of one middle-aged man and one soon-to-be middle-aged man talking about the weather, talking about their physical decline into older life,
I can talk about that. Yeah.
you can find us on X at VNSPod. You can email the show, variousandsundrypodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube, and we would love for you to leave a 5-star rating on whatever platform you join the show. All right, John, let's talk some sports.
Let's do it.
Obviously, the big headline here is Final Four for the NCAA March Madness tournament.
Took place over the weekend.
Yes, and 2 blowout games.
Yeah.
This was actually my sort of worst case scenario.
Oh, for teams to be in the championship? You don't care for UConn?
I strongly dislike their coach.
And we've talked about this before. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. What is it about?
The nicest thing I can say about him is he's a tool. That's the nicest thing I can say.
Without an explicit rating.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a litany of. I mean, he is a phenomenal basketball coach, but as a human being, he's a tool. Mm-hmm. And he has more recently embraced playing the villain, so I think he in part like plays it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you yell at an official who he was having a conversation with an official, and the official was clearly like done with the conversation, turns his back and walks away. And when you're a basketball coach and you yell at that official, don't turn your back on me. I'm the best effing coach in America. That tells you a little bit something about his psychology. So just say it. That's just one of like 25 examples we could probably bring forward to his.
Sure.
So anyway, but then in the other one, and the other semifinal,
there's a little bit longer of a tenure.
I mean, we have the evil empire from that state up north, and so those two teams will play tonight. They just pummeled Arizona. So setting up a UConn, Michigan final tonight, which by the time this episode drops, that'll be known as to who wins.
Maybe. Oh, that's on so late.
I have to think it's. I mean, so again, I'm in the no-win situation. I either have to root for the team with the coach who I think is a tool. Mm-hmm. I cannot bring myself to root for the other team. So, can Jesus just come back before it?
I mean, you could probably not watch the game. That would be an option.
That's true. But it's hard for me to envision Michigan not winning that tonight. They just seem like the better team. But which brings us to the bracket competition. Do you want to give us an update?
Yeah.
So, I mean, now things are very clear, right, in terms of.
Well, the fun part is we have.
So there's still
two possible winners.
Two possible winners. Okay.
So in first right now, let's cover that first.
Yeah.
Is John in Tennessee.
I don't know who that is.
I think he's a listener. He made a comment. He was looking for a breakdown of TGC back in the day, and he started listening to us during that.
Okay.
The only reason I know that is because of the Rocky Top line there.
Got it.
That's who I think it is. But he's sitting in first, but he has no more possible points.
Correct.
All his teams have been eliminated.
So he is not going to win.
He's in first now. He can have his moment in the sun.
There's his moment in the sun, yes. Congratulations, John. Great job.
Yes. But second and third, we have one that picked Connecticut and one that picked Michigan.
That's correct.
And depending on who wins, one of them will be right, one of them will be wrong, obviously, and that person will win the whole shebang.
Yeah. So, yes, we have Jacob, not my son Jacob, but different Jacob.
Oregon, Jacob. I believe they're in Oregon.
Or Washington.
Oh, is it Washington? They're in the Pacific Northwest.
They're in the PNW, yes.
Yes.
They're in the PNW. Okay. If Connecticut wins, he would win.
Yep.
And if Michigan wins, we have a bracket entitled SJ for the win.
Yeah, there's more to it if you click on the.
Oh, I see. That's too bad.
What does it say?
I can't say those words.
Okay. It says SJ for the win. Do you want me to say it?
I'm not going to.
Okay. It says go blue.
Okay. Do you know who this is?
No clue.
Okay. Interesting.
No clue. If Michigan does win, we'll have to figure out who
Definitely
that
have to figure out who that is, yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. But, yes, so if you win, we'll try to – it'd be easiest if you would reach out to us. And we'll arrange what you get there. So you'll have to tell us what book of mine you'd like, and we'll pass that along. So
how did you end up doing in the bracket?
I believe I was 27th or 28th.
Whew.
28th. Yes. I did finish ahead of my wife.
Nice.
And I did finish in front of the reigning champ from last year.
Did you really?
Yeah, he finished 34th.
Oh, man. He did not have a good showing, did he?
Yes. Well, not quite as rough as my beloved bride.
Yeah, she had a rough year.
She had a rough year. Yeah.
I finished 6th overall.
I saw that. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yes. I feel pretty good about that showing.
You should. So, that'll wind down. And one other note on the
we should do this more with listeners. Maybe we do a NFL pick'em or something. I don't know.
I think we'd have less participation.
That's probably true.
Because you get the non-sports fans, or like I'll call them the casual. Like, it's kind of interesting, but like you're not getting the casual to fill out an NFL pick'em.
Yeah.
So, but I do like that we get a little bit more engagement from the listeners that way. It's
yeah.
great. Yeah. Staying in college sports for a minute, I did want to mention. Did you see that Trump issued an executive order about...
I saw there was one. I don't know the contents of it.
Okay. Now, it's not binding, so that it should be clear. This is not like, this is how it is now. It's this is the framework I want to see. And it's really kind of intended as a prompt for Congress to act, which, as we all know...
Congress is broken and doesn't act.
Yeah, exactly. But... yes. So my understanding of the content is that they would limit eligibility to 5 years. And I can't remember if it's like everybody gets 5 years. Like, so that's – you don't have to apply for a red shirt or anything. It's like you just get 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if you miss 3 of those years because of medical issues, like that's just a tough break.
Yeah.
Just a tough break. But the biggest wrinkle out of that is he's proposing allowing one transfer. You can transfer once as opposed to every year, which is what you can do now. I would be open to seeing – I think it's a good start. I would be open to seeing that be maybe like one transfer.
Plus if a coach leaves, transfer.
I would say you can do a second one, but you have to sit out a year. Like you get one transfer. It used to be if you transferred, you sat out a year.
Yeah.
I'm saying let them transfer once without having to sit out. But if I want to see an end to this, you're watching the NCAA tournament and they're like, yeah, he started at Midwest, Northwestern, Louisiana Technical A&M. His first year, which is, a lower level D1 school. And then he transferred to a mid-major, and then he transferred to a high major, and then he transferred to another high major. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, you can't even do that at the professional level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are contracts at the professional level. Like, unless you're signing one-year contracts, which is rare.
Yep.
Like, it's just chaos. You can't. It's not sustainable. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not optimistic anything's going to happen, but who knows? How are the Mets doing here, starting off the baseball season? So we're, 2 weeks in-ish?
Not even 2, probably a week and a half. We've had 2 weekends, but the season started on a Thursday.
Okay.
And so we've had 1 full week of play now.
Are you ready to abandon your playoff aspirations? Or
No.
Are you all in on Mets? We're at between the Mets aren't going to make the playoffs and the Mets are going to win the World Series.
I'm probably closer to World Series right now.
All right.
It's still early, though.
Obviously.
I think.
Have they played what? Have they played 10 games? They haven't played 10 games yet, have they? Or maybe about?
About 10 games, yeah.
Okay.
So they played 4 against the Giants, 3 against the Cardinals, and 3 against the Pirates, which is 10.
There you go. So they are essentially 1/16 of the season in the books.
That's correct.
All right.
That's correct.
And you're ready to say, if I have to pick one of these happening, it's either win the World Series or not make the playoffs, which is more likely at this point.
Oh, goodness. I mean, if there were a few injuries, I think not making the playoffs would be more likely.
Okay.
But I'm an optimist, and I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
But I thought that before the season started. So,
well, I mean, baseball is one of those sports too, where there's a sense in which you can spend enough money to help build a cushion against injuries.
yeah.
But, no team is fully immune to injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Dodgers. Like, if they had a few guys go down with season-ending injuries, they might still make the playoffs. But people would be like, I don't think they're going to win the World Series kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
Or they could even miss the playoffs. Like, the margins of baseball can be that thin.
Well, even the best teams lose 60 games,
Yeah. A great year is losing 60 games.
Yeah.
Winning 100, losing 62. Like, you do that, and you're like, that's a great year.
That's a great year.
Yeah. So the margins are thin. But, okay. What about your Knicks?
The Knicks have not been playing as well as I would like.
Okay.
They're 50-28, which feels pretty good.
50-28. Okay, that's a good record.
So they're playing well. They're the second seed in well, hold on. That's the Atlantic Conference. Let me go to the Eastern Conference. They're third in the Eastern Conference, behind Detroit and Boston.
All right.
So they've had a good season, but it's been like, well, there's 2 or 3 losses here. Oh, they've won 6 in a row.
Yeah.
3 more losses and in the playoffs, you lose 3 games in a row, you're toast.
Correct. Now, one of the criticisms with Thibodeau from last year as the coach was that he just played his starters into the ground. And so that by the time we got to the end of the season, that
they're run ragged.
They just didn't have legs left.
Yeah.
Has that changed with – I forget who's the new coach now.
Mike oh, my goodness. I'm blanking on his name. Used to coach LeBron.
Brown.
Mike Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. Who was not a popular – was kind of like we need somebody to fill the seat sort of a choice.
We need somebody.
Right? There was
Can't have Jalen Brunson being a player coach.
Right. Well, it was kind of like, well, let's get an analytics guy from this era or this no-name guy from this era, somebody that the fan base would get really excited about. And then none of those guys wanted the job. Because I think James Dolan is still seen as a bit of a time bomb, right?
Yeah. Okay.
How long does it take until he meddles and blows everything up?
Sure.
And but yeah, they're 50-28. They seem to be playing all right. If they get hot in the playoffs, they'll do well.
Okay.
So they are how many games back are they? They're 3 games back of the Celtics and 4 games back of the Pistons.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, 7 games back of the Pistons. So they're ahead of the Cavs by a game. And then there's a pretty big drop to the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't pay attention to the NBA until
the
playoffs. So, I mean, I'll catch an occasional game, but I did catch a little bit of the Mavericks and Lakers last night. And Cooper Flagg is fun to watch.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard he's a very good player.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing things that are basically unprecedented as a first year. He's 19 in the league, kind of thing. So, yeah, he's fun to watch. But we'll see. I mean, playoffs are coming around, and I'll probably start to lock in a little bit more.
Yeah.
But anything? Oh, and this upcoming weekend, a tradition like no other, unlike any other.
The Masters on CBS.
Dun 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 dun.
The azaleas bloom.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I have in my mind that visual of like the entry road that's lined by those beautiful trees.
Yeah.
It's iconic. Mm-hmm. It's iconic. So,
and should we mention Tiger Woods?
I mean, we didn't mention? Did it happen between the last time we recorded it now?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume that means he's not. I mean, I don't think he was going to play anyway. Is he playing? He's not playing.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
I mean, he was in an automobile accident.
Mm-hmm. Seemingly while intoxicated.
On something other than alcohol.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I think he blew in the breathalyzer a 0.
Really?
But, I mean, I think they're basically – I think he refused – if I remember this right, he took the breathalyzer, but he refused the urine test, which I think that was in Florida, I think. And if I remember correctly, that might be an automatic like DUI or something. Like if you refuse a urine test, I think there might be some mechanism there where it's like, okay, you're automatically then going to be found guilty of some maybe misdemeanor or something.
Wow.
So
yeah, Tiger Woods is such an interesting story.
Yeah.
I mean, from sort of like his father being hyper involved, him rising to that occasion, and then falling.
Yeah.
A couple of times. I think this is the third time he's fallen.
At least.
Because there was the
Yes.
all involving cars. There was the crash outside of his home.
Yes. Yep. And that's what broke the dam open.
Oh, yeah. Where
Yeah.
he had multiple women in multiple cities, right? We sort of learned that at that time.
Yes.
As well as some sort of substance abuse problem.
Yeah, that incident was sparked. Wasn't it sparked by his wife finding out?
Yes.
And yeah, there was a whole thing there.
And then there was a car accident, I think in California.
Okay.
And
yes.
And then this one.
Yes. Yeah, it's sad.
It's hard to wrap your mind around as well because he seems so locked in and gifted in his area.
Yes. But people like that are terribly unbalanced.
Yeah.
Their life has been consumed by one narrow thing, and they become great at it. And they don't know how to put the rest of their lives together.
Yeah.
So, all right, we are way past our time here.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. We got to move on here. All right, John, time for the continuation of our series on the minor prophets. We got to move from Tiger Woods to
this day in sports history is what I thought you were about to say.
Habakkuk. Yeah, we're just going to skip Habakkuk. Going to skip to Habakkuk here. So yeah, we're going from Tiger Woods to Habakkuk here. So continuing our series on the minor prophets and talking about Habakkuk.
Yep.
And I think this is probably one of the minor prophets that there are at least a couple of like passages out of that people will be like, oh yeah, I recognize that. But I think I'm guessing there's at least 2 passages where I think many Christians will be like, oh yeah, I recognize that.
What do we know about this fella, Habakkuk?
So not a ton. I mean, he probably is doing his thing, has his ministry going there in the late 7th century. So like maybe somewhere around 605-ish kind of thing.
Okay. Southern Kingdom then?
Yes.
Northern Kingdoms?
They're gone.
Okay.
By now, they're.
In the Southern Kingdom, remind me of the year, 586? Am I getting that right?
Yes. So there were 3 sort of
stages.
3 stages of the Babylonians. So 605, 596, 597, and then
the final
586, 587. That was the final where the Babylonians are like, okay,
we're done.
We're done. We're just going to level the temple and just be done with this. So I don't know a lot about him personally. Basically, he saw the oracle that's described in chapters 1 and 2, and then he wrote the psalm that's in chapter 3 in response, and that's kind of it. So you're kind of left to speculate kind of when this is happening. So focused on the Chaldeans, another name for the Babylonians.
Sure.
And realistically, most people think it's probably since the opening verses talk about the injustice going on in Judah, they suggest that this happens after the death of King Josiah.
Right.
And that seems reasonable to me. After Josiah dies, you've got Jehoiakim as a sort of puppet king that is essentially the Egyptian pharaoh put on the throne. So that's a problem already, right?
Yeah. This seems to be a bit of a problem.
Yeah. So, let's just get a little flavor here of what's going on. I want you to read the first 4 verses of Habakkuk.
Okay. The oracle of Habakkuk, the prophet, saw. O Lord, how long shall I cry for help, and you will not hear, or cry to you violence, and you will not save? Why do you make me see iniquity, and why do you idly look at wrong? Destruction and violence are before me, strife and contention arise. So the law is paralyzed, and justice never goes forth. For the wicked surround the righteous, so justice goes forth perverted.
Yeah. So right out of the gate, Habakkuk's like, I don't get it, Lord. He's looking at the violence and injustice and sin around him, and he asks a question that I think essentially every Christian has asked at some point, if they've been a Christian of any significant duration.
Sure.
How long, O Lord? Right? I mean, I think you don't have to have lived terribly long to have that kind of visceral reaction to seeing the chaos of the world around you. Whether it's at a personal level where you might see someone get away with something, and you're like, how long are you going to let so-and-so or this situation go unresolved? Like, how long are you just going to sit there and seemingly do nothing to resolve that? And of course, he's talking more on the sort of international level, national level, right? Here in Habakkuk, but I think we can all look at even just circumstances around us, and if you've not ever prayed, "How long, O Lord?" or had that thought of like, that'd be surprising to me.
Yeah.
But then you get the response here, and so why don't you go ahead and read? Let's just read 5 and 6.
Okay.
There's more to it, but let's just read that for now.
Yeah, just a taster.
Yep.
Look among the nations and see. Wonder and be astounded, for I am doing a work in your days that you would not believe if told. For behold, I am raising up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, who march through the breadth of the earth to seize dwellings not their own.
Yeah, so if you understand what's going on here, this is sort of the ironic twist moment where Habakkuk is presumably looking around him at the southern kingdom of Judah, and he's saying, how long are you going to let this injustice go? How long is this just going to continue on? And the Lord says, well, actually, here's my solution to that. I'm going to raise up the Babylonians to come in and take care of it.
It's actually going to get worse.
Well, I'm going to essentially pick people who are worse, in your eyes at least, who are worse to punish them. Habakkuk is like, well, I didn't see that coming. And how can you do that? Like, what could you possibly be doing? Like, why would you do that, right? Like, look at verse 13.
This is in Habakkuk's response.
Yeah, so this is Habakkuk's response. After he acknowledges the Lord's, character, Actually, it's starting verse 12. Are you not from everlasting, O Lord my God, my Holy One? We shall not die. O Lord, you have ordained them as judgment, and you, O Rock, have established them for reproof. You who are of purer eyes than to see evil and cannot look at wrong. Why do you idly look at traitors and remain silent when the wicked swallow up the man more righteous than he? So he in essence goes like, okay, look, I know you're sovereign. I know you're just, which is why I don't get this. Because I'm complaining about people here in Judah, their wickedness, their injustice, and you're going to judge them with people who are even more wicked than the people I'm complaining about. I don't get that. Which I think, if we're honest, we could go, I can see why you would struggle with that, So that's the sort of reply that he gives. And then if you jump into chapter 2, I'll have you read verses 2 through 4.
Okay. And the Lord answered me, write the vision, make it plain on tablets so he may run who reads it. For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end, it will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come, it will not delay. Behold, his soul is puffed up, it is not upright within him. But the righteous shall live by his faith.
Okay. So that last line there, I'm guessing most...
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, people are like, oh, yeah, that's right. That sounds very New Testament-ish.
Yeah. Is that Romans? Yeah.
Yeah. So, it shows up in Romans 1:17. It shows up in Galatians 3:11. It shows up again in Hebrews 10:38. So this is a verse that multiple New Testament writers pick up on. And, part of the answer here is what God is telling Habakkuk is essentially, if you jump back up to those earlier verses, the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. He's like, I get it. My answer is coming. Everybody just slow down, take a deep breath. And then what's going to happen then in verses 6 through really through the end of chapter 2 is an announcement of judgment on the Chaldeans. So it's as if God is saying they're not going to get off without punishment themselves.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm raising up the Chaldeans to punish the southern kingdom, but my justice is coming for them as well. They're not going to go unpunished.
In the form of the Persians, right?
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, the Persians. Yeah. So,
who will return the people to the land?
Yes. And what's striking is in the middle of that, and I will come back to Habakkuk 2:4 here in a minute. What's striking is in the midst of that, in the midst of what can seem very much like this kind of Middle Eastern geopolitical conversation that can seem very removed from us today, even though
there's a lot of geopolitical conversations in the Middle East today.
Yes. That right smack dab in the middle of that chapter, you get this in chapter 2, verse 14. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. So he drops right in the middle of that chapter a reminder of this is the ultimate goal of what's going on here. The knowledge of the glory of the Lord is going to fill the earth like the waters cover the sea. Like that's where all of this is heading, Habakkuk. This is where everything is directed. And it's as if he's trying to take Habakkuk's vision from his immediate circumstances back up to God's ultimate sort of creational and redemptive purposes.
Yeah.
To say, let's not lose the big picture here.
Don't get too mired in the weeds.
That's right. Because at the end of the day, there's a day coming where my glory will be so evident that it'll be the equivalent of the waters covering the sea, which is like, well, there is no sea without water. So like they're the equivalent, like exactly. That every part of this earth will be just filled with the glory of Yahweh. Now, I think we have to come back to Habakkuk 2:4 there, because that gets picked up, as I said, 3 times at least in the New Testament. And part of this is really fascinating when you look at chapter 2, verse 4, and he says, the righteous shall live by his faith. And if you look at, if you're reading out of the ESV, I'm guessing other translations do this as well, they have a little footnote there that tells you that it could also be understood as his faithfulness.
Yes.
Okay. So that seems, that verse seems simple at one level, right? But it's actually far more complex than I think people might realize initially, because the question is, who is the his? Is it the believer or the faithful person here? So that the idea is the righteous shall live by the righteous continuing to trust in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what's being said? Well, that seems to be pretty much what Paul and the author of Hebrews take it as.
Mm-hmm.
However, it could also be understood as saying, the righteous shall live by his faithfulness. In other words, the righteous will live by remaining faithful to Yahweh and his covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the folks at Qumran interpreted it. And then they go into this whole discussion of, well, what does it mean to be faithful? It's keep the law. So it actually turns into sort of almost like a backdoor kind of works righteousness, where it's, the righteous will live by keeping the law. It's essentially the conclusion that the folks at Qumran come up with on reading the same text.
Yeah.
And there's still yet a third way it could be read.
Mm-hmm.
It could be read as, the righteous shall live by his, meaning God's, faithfulness.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the righteous will live because God will be faithful to his covenant. And those implied who trust in God's faithfulness will live, will have eschatological life. So all of those are reasonable readings, interpretations of Habakkuk 2:4.
Okay.
And so there's actually a good bit of discussion even in Second Temple Jewish writings, like how do we interpret this? And there's even a textual variant in there.
Oh, fun.
That just makes it a whole bunch of fun there.
So anytime I hear a verse like this, and we're talking, is it live by faith, live by faithfulness, I can't help but think of a British scholar. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Maybe.
I can't help but think of New Perspective on Paul and N.T. Wright.
Sure.
Does that play into this passage here? And into the
Yes.
the 3 interpretive levels you outlined there?
That does fall into the mix, yes.
Okay. Yep. How so?
Well, folks who are advocates of the New Perspective on Paul tend to, but this is not, again, a one-to-one correspondence, but many of them tend to fall into the camp of wanting to emphasize Christ's faithfulness or God's faithfulness to keep his covenant as the basis for salvation. And as one who is not an advocate of the New Perspective on Paul, I say, well, yeah, of course that's true, but is that what the biblical author is saying here? And I don't think it is. So anyway, go track that down. Romans 1:16 and 17, Galatians 3:11, and Hebrews 10:38. Read them. Reflect on them. and I call me crazy, but I tend to default to what a New Testament author says the Old Testament passage is referring to.
Sure.
Just a crazy little quirk I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you are quirky.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. So I did want to touch on one last section of Habakkuk that I think people are familiar with, and that's the last probably two verses there. I actually go with last three. So, John, go ahead and read verses 17 through 19.
All right, 17 through 19.
Of chapter 3 there, yeah.
Though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food, the flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God the Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on my high places, to the choir master with stringed instruments.
Yeah. And really, I think that does kind of capture the ethos of the book, that eventually Habakkuk comes around to this realization of, I may not understand
It is well with my soul.
What God is doing, but I can trust his character.
Mm-hmm.
I can trust his character. And I think that's a lesson that all of us need to reflect on, right? I mean, our circumstances are going to be different than that, but we all face circumstances where we think, I don't understand what you're doing here, God.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm even, tempted to be sinfully frustrated that things are not going a certain way, that things are not going the way that I think they should or my own preference. And, it's good for us to have a book like Habakkuk to remind us that even when we don't understand why God is doing what he's doing, and even if we're tempted to question it, that ultimately we can trust his character and continue to walk forward in faith, that he is good and that he's going to accomplish his purposes of the earth being filled with the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. So, all right. Ready to move on?
I think so.
I think we have to. Time now for this day in sports history.
This day in sports history, April the 7th, 2026.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting used to saying 2026.
Okay.
I think I'm getting there.
Getting there. I forget that it's 2026 still regularly. I have to remind myself.
What year do you think it is?
Still 25.
You're still in 25?
Yeah.
Okay.
26 just seems like, how can it possibly be 2026? Just from like a conceptual standpoint of like,
we watch movies about this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You see the, far off in the future in 2026, this is going to that's not, now we're here. And that didn't happen.
Yeah. I think the book I, Robot took place in 2020. Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed the movie. I never saw the book. I never read the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw the movie as well. I did not read the book. So
it was a decent,
entertaining.
I actually think it's a pretty interesting movie for sort of our moment. If I'm thinking back to the plot and the ghost,
artificial intelligence,
the ghost in the machine, and everything, and
okay.
So what is consciousness? What is human? Anyway,
yeah.
April 7th, 1986.
No.
1896.
There you go.
Australian athlete Edwin Flack wins a gold medal in the first Olympics, in the first Olympic 1500 final at the inaugural Modern Games in Athens. Goes on to win the 800 2 days later.
There you go.
1956, 10th NBA championship. Despite 30 points from Pistons forward George Yardley, the Philadelphia Warriors beat the Fort Wayne Pistons 99-88.
Yeah.
Warriors wrap up the series 4-1.
Back when Fort Wayne had I
believe
NBA
it was
team.
the Fort Wayne Pistons, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and then they relocated
to Detroit.
Yes. Well done.
Yeah, that was probably the right move at the time. 1963, 27th U.S. Masters Tournament, 23-year-old Jack Nicklaus wins the first of his record 6 green jackets with a 3-foot par putt on the final hole to finish 1 stroke ahead of Tony Lima. I don't know which it is.
Yeah, that's a tough call. I don't know.
1984, Detroit Tiger Jack Morris no-hit Chicago White Sox 4-0.
I think that was the year they started off the season like 9-0 and then like 35-5 en route to their dominant season. Yeah,
they were very good in the 80s. The Tigers.
They were.
2003 65th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Syracuse beats Kansas 81-78. Orangemen win first title. Our good friend Carmelo Anthony named tournament most outstanding player.
Yeah.
Never met the guy. Feels like he'd be friendly toward us.
I'm not sure why, but I try to help my Greek students remember. So there's a verb in Greek. This only works for the sports fans in there.
Yeah.
There's a verb in Greek that's mellow. It means I am about to.
Uh-huh.
And so with mellow, I am always about to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That was probably more of his NBA career than his college career, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he was probably he played a little bit more within the system at Syracuse, a little bit more.
And certainly end of his career, he was a bit of he was much more of a chucker than at the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
He was always filling it up, though.
Yep.
Hard to believe he came in with LeBron James. And it feels like Melo's been retired for 10 years.
Yes.
Like he could be inducted into the Hall of Fame soon.
Sure.
And LeBron's still playing.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is.
2014, 76th NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Connecticut beats Kentucky 60-54. Second time a school has won both men's and women's Division I national titles in the same year.
Yeah. There you go.
Who do you like?
I mean, I'm loath to go with someone from the state of Michigan, but I think I did enjoy watching Jack Morris pitch before your time. But
Yeah. I like a good no-hitter.
yeah, early in the season too. Though
Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicklaus is up. I mean, the Golden Bear.
Yeah.
And it is almost Masters Week.
It is Masters Week.
I feel like we got to go with Jack.
Let's go it. Let's do it.
All right. One thing you like?
All right. So I am going to lump all of Good Friday as a good day.
Okay.
Let me tell you about my Good Friday.
I'm here for it.
I went to the YMCA Good Friday breakfast. Did you know the YMCA had a Good Friday breakfast?
Yeah, they have it every year. Yeah.
I went this year.
Okay.
And they had somebody who was on the 86 Detroit Tigers.
Frank Tanana.
A
lefty.
Yes. Gave a great testimony about being in the big leagues and coming to faith, and very, very cool.
Yeah, nice.
That was a lot of fun. Then
early morning.
7 a.m.
Okay, not crazy early.
No. But saw a lot of wonderful people.
Yeah.
Well attended. Then got my wife and daughter out on a nice long walk. We did 4 miles.
Whoa.
On Good Friday.
Okay. Trail system around here. Part of the trails are closed off because of all the weather. But the stuff by the golf course is still.
Yep. We started at the church and made our way down to Winona around the island and back.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then stopped for coffee at the river.
Of course.
And then went to our Good Friday service at church and had heard an excellent message from Ash in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, one of the pod listeners.
One of the pod listeners.
Yeah, I did a great job.
I thought he did really well. And then went home and, my little baby was a little overstimulated by being at the Good Friday service and seeing so many people, and struggled to calm down afterwards.
Yes, I mean, myself and my wife are 2 of those people this week. So, yeah, I've seen Mia a little bit more than Kate has, and so Kate had not really seen Mia that awake and just alert and looking around. And
she was very alert.
Yeah, it's fun. That's fun. So very good, very good. So I'm going to go with the birthday celebration for my son's birthday. He's
nice.
28.
Ooh, you almost have a 30-year-old.
I know. That's middle-aged.
That's middle-aged? That's middle-aged.
I mean, you're only 9 years older than my oldest son. That means you can't be middle-aged. You because if that just can't be. You just can't be middle-aged. We gotta. I think we have to.
I think 37 is middle-aged.
40. Okay, we're gonna ask a chat bot here. Who do you want to ask? You want to ask ChatGPT?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. So how old does one have to be middle-aged? Let's see what because chat knows all, obviously. Okay. Here we go. There's no official age, obviously.
Yeah.
That said, most common definitions fall in this range. Middle age typically starts around 40.
I feel like 37, 38 is around 40.
It's not. Sorry. It often runs until about 60 to 65.
Now that feels late.
To go from
middle-aged is like middle of your life.
Well, it depends. Are we kind of breaking up are we breaking things up into like 3 stages or 4? Because if you're breaking it up into 4 stages, I think that that saying middle-aged ends at 65 is probably about right.
Really?
Yeah.
That feels long to me.
Because I feel like middle-aged, like when you get into your like mid-60s, I feel like, okay, you're old now.
You're retirement aged.
Yeah. But that's still different, I think, in my mind, from like elderly.
Mm-hmm.
See, I want to break off old and elderly. Elderly to me is like you probably are living, either you need to live in a facility of some kind, or like you're living with a relative or something.
Or people are impressed you're on your own.
Exactly.
And a little worried.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they're like, oh, good for you. You know, when you're like, you still drive? Oh, good for you. You're elderly at that point.
I don't know. When you can start taking your 401k without penalty, I think you're done with middle age. I think that's the cut. 59 and a half.
My guess is your perspective will change as you get older. This is my thought.
Okay. We'll see. We'll report back in 15 to 20 years.
We'll still be doing this pod in 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, we'll still be here.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, great to celebrate John's birthday. Fun to play some games and just hang out, watch some basketball and that kind of thing. So great to see him. And when you have the immediate family together, when you've got my 2 boys and our daughter-in-law plus Kate and I, that's just a fun group to hang out with. So that is my one thing I liked. All right, John, we have talked a lot of sports. We had a long sports segment today because we tried to cover NCAA basketball, bracket competition, executive order, Mets, Knicks, Masters. Lot going on there. We talked about Habakkuk.
Yep.
What a dude. Habakkuk. We talked about Jack Nicklaus, the Golden Bear.
What a guy.
What a guy. We talked about an enjoyable Good Friday.
Yep.
And we talked about celebrating my son's birthday. So I think by definition, we have covered our various and sundry topics. And so all that's left to say is, until next time, the Lord bless y'all real good.
Later.